Imagine this, a remote island, an elite S-rank mission, and the entire world is watching it live. And then, nothing. The signal just dies. What happened next was a battle fought in total darkness, a clash of kings that honestly changed everything. So today, we're going to break down that unseen battle of Jeju Island.
Panic. That's really the first thing that hits everywhere. You've got broadcast studios, command centers, and they're all asking the same thing. People are blowing up the phone lines wanting to know what's going on, but nobody has any answers. The feed is just gone. The whole world is flying blind.
Okay, so let's get into it. The first major failure here wasn't a strategic mistake in a fight. It was communication. You have this entire island, the target of this massive hunter operation, and it just suddenly goes completely, totally silent. And just look at how quickly it all falls apart. First, the public broadcast cuts out. Okay, technical difficulties happen. But right after that, all internal communications with the strike team on the ground, jammed, gone. Even the Japanese command center, which is supposed to be the brain of this whole operation, has no idea what's happening. And then you get this one terrifying piece of information before the blackout is complete. The vital signs for Goto Ryuji, Japan's #1 S-rank hunter, their biggest gun. They've gone silent.
The ripple effect from this is just immediate and total. Broadcasters are staring at dead air. Phone systems are literally crashing because the public is in a panic. You have high-level guys like the chairman of the Korean Hunters Association who can't do anything but just hope for the best. And get this, on the ground, even the reporters' personal cameras just stop working. Every single eye, whether it's electronic or human, has been completely blinded.
When they finally get a brief flickering signal back to 3 survivors, the news is just catastrophic. 7 members of Japan's elite 10-man S-rank team. And you have to remember, these are hunters at the absolute peak of human power, are confirmed killed in action. This mission isn't just a failure, it's a complete massacre.
But then, right in the middle of this total disaster, something that should be impossible happens. Just as the few remaining Korean hunters are about to be wiped out, a new person shows up. A variable that absolutely no one could have seen coming. And right away, that becomes the burning question for the survivors on the ground. The island is on total lockdown. All communications are jammed. So how in the world did he even get there? It makes absolutely no sense.
Now, here's what's so wild about this. His arrival isn't just about finding a way to the island. He didn't just sneak past a blockade. He seems to have completely ignored the very phenomenon that caused this whole crisis. This tells you right away that he's an anomaly. He's operating on a different level, playing by a different set of rules than everyone else. And his whole demeanor is the exact opposite of the chaos around him. There's no panic, no confusion, he's just calm and he's focused. He immediately tells them, look, we'll talk later, right now let's get you guys healed up. And then he does something else that no one's ever seen before. He just summons items. Potions appear literally out of thin air, and they completely heal these wounds that should have been fatal. At this point, it is crystal clear he is not just another fighter. He's like a one-man army and support crew rolled into one.
And then, just as suddenly as it was lost, the broadcast signal flickers back on, and what the entire world gets to see is the answer to the whole mystery of Jeju Island. A duel between 2 kings.
So, on one side, you've got the Ant King. We're talking about the apex predator that took out an entire S-rank team all by himself. A monster evolved for pure combat, with nasty toxins and the ability to heal. And on the other side, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, the total unknown. We don't know what his deal is, but we're about to see some insane durability and a control over shadows that just defies logic.
The fight kicks off, and the first big shock actually comes from the Ant King's own thoughts. He looks at Jin-Woo and thinks, oh, a fragile mage type, and he unleashes this massive blow that should have just ended the fight right then and there. But Jin-Woo just takes the hit. He doesn't just survive it, he tanks it. And in that single moment, the Ant King's entire strategy, his whole understanding of the fight, it just completely shatters. The guy who looks like a mage is built like a freaking tank, and the king is, to put it mildly, confused.
From that point on, the tide just completely turns. The Ant King tries his most powerful poison. Doesn't work. They go head-to-head in a test of pure strength. It's a stalemate. And then, Jin-Woo decides to show his real speed, moving so fast that even the king's hyper-evolved senses can't track him. The hunter is now the one pushing the attack, and the king is on the back foot.
With the Ant King reeling, confused, and getting anxious, Jin-Woo basically says, okay,
Playtime's over. He's done testing the waters, he's done defending, he's here to end it, right now.
You can actually track the Ant King's complete mental breakdown across 4 stages. He starts with this unshakable pride, thinking he's the strongest thing alive. That turns to confusion when his best attacks don't work. That confusion then turns into anxiety because he realizes Jin-Woo's power is somehow growing during the fight. And finally, that anxiety just breaks, and all that's left is pure, primal fear. And those are the last thoughts of this so-called apex predator. He's not thinking about fighting, he's not thinking about winning, he's thinking about survival. The king, born to be on top of the food chain, is completely broken, and his only instinct is to run away. The hunter has officially become the hunted. The victory is total. It's absolute. But the second the Ant King falls, a brand new, much more personal crisis begins. The battle against the monster is over, but for one of his allies, the race against time is just starting.
Hunter Cha Hae-In is dying. The injuries she got earlier are just too much. Her life force is fading fast, and the standard healing potions that worked on the other guys, they're doing nothing for her.
So Jin-Woo starts running through his options. First, the regular potions. They fail. So he pulls out his ultimate trump card, the Elixir of Life. Now, this is an item so rare and powerful, it cured his own mother from a magical disease that everyone said was incurable. He uses it, and nothing. It fails.
So think about this for a second. After showing power that nobody thought was possible, after beating an enemy that wiped the floor with the world's best hunters, he finds himself totally powerless. He's out of items, he's out of options, and time is about to run out for good.
And his own words just capture how hopeless it is. After all that power, after that incredible victory, he's left with nothing. His best tools are useless. So what does that even mean? What's left to do?
And that's really the question this whole thing leaves us with, isn't it? The battle for Jeju Island showed us a hunter with what seems like limitless power to destroy. But it all ended by showing him the one thing that power couldn't save. So when you can beat any monster in the world, but you can't stop one person from dying, what do you have left?